Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I'm going to be discussing a gentleman by the name of CY CURNIN. Now, most of you know CY as the lead singer of a band called the Fixx. Now, the Fixx were still one of my favorite bands. They're the band actually that I've seen the most of live. I think I've seen them maybe 7 times, 8 times, and each time it's just been an amazing show. It doesn't matter if it's in a big venue or a small club, they give their all, and it's pretty darn amazing. But CY has released a series of solo albums, and I'm going to talk to you about those. But before I talk about the actual real solo albums, the first time you really heard CY outside of the Fixx was the Better Off Dead soundtrack that contains a song called With One Look. Now, the soundtrack was produced and written by the late, great Rupert Hine, who produced a lot of the Fixx records. And the song With One Look was a duet between Rupert and CY. And that was played, I believe, at the end of the movie, but it got a lot of airplay in L.A., and a lot of people thought it might have been the new Fixx. But no, it was Rupert Hine and CY CURNIN. So the Fixx has had an amazing career, essentially the same 5 guys. Now, Dan K. Brown came and went a couple times, but the core band, the main 4 guys, have been there since the very beginning. CY CURNIN, of course, being the lead vocalist. The first time he actually released a real true solo album was in 2005 with the album called Mayfly. Now, this is a fantastic record. It's a departure from the Fixx a little bit. Now, his vocals are, the minute you hear him, you go, that's CY CURNIN from the Fixx. But the music on this was a little more intimate, a little slower, a little moodier, more acoustic, and interesting because on songs like I Should Be So Lucky, his vocals recorded the way that I'm hearing them was so pure that it's almost chilling and heartwarming at the same time. Very intimate and it's fantastic. It's a great collection of songs. None of the Fixx players are on this album, but CY certainly proves that he is a great songwriter and continues to be a great vocalist. The thing about the Fixx is those guys together. So if you're expecting a Fixx album when you listen to CY CURNIN, you're only listening to 1/5 of the Fixx. But it's pretty darn close because that voice is very familiar. Now, speaking of the Fixx, his next solo album, which might be my favorite, I don't know, it just changes from day to day, is The Returning Sun. This album actually features Jamie West Oram on it. Most of this album could have been a Fixx album. It's just so upbeat and very much the sound of the Fixx, full band, and it just sounds great. There's a song here called Remember Me When I'm Gone, which practically brings a tear to my eye every time I hear it. The title track, Fork in the Road, Falling Apart Together, it's a great, great album. That is CY CURNIN, The Returning Sun, and that came out in 2007. 2 years later, he put out an album called Solar Minimum, and this was more great CY CURNIN, but it was different. It showed him embracing electronics, and it sounded like maybe it could have been recorded for Peter Gabriel's Real World label. But it's got unique rhythms and songs. And thing is that he's not just living off the Fixx. He's creating his own path, and it's really quite amazing. Like I said, that is called Solar Minimum, and that came out in 2009. Now, there was a EP, which is digital only, called Cinema for the Blind, that he put out. You can download that at some of your favorite sites. And that is, I believe, like 4 instrumentals, and it's very moody, electronic. 2013, he put out another great album called The Horse's Mouth. This is kind of a mixture of all the CY CURNIN. It's not too Fixx, but it's not too electronic. Just lots of great songs on there. And Bubble is a great song. He's just one of these unique talents that you just need to keep paying attention to, whether it's a Fixx album or if it's a solo album, because that voice, it's pure, absolute magic. And his lyrics really, really, really touch deep. Once you connect with what CY CURNIN is doing solo, each album is like a meal, a feast, and he just gives so graciously of his talent and his magic, and it's absolutely fabulous. CY CURNIN, The Horse's Mouth. Now, it took another 7 years, I believe, until he put out an album called Lockdown. Now, unfortunately, I really can't talk about the album Lockdown because this is called CD Junkie, and that is only available as a digital album, but I do recommend it if you are a fan of CY CURNIN. It's electronic, it's moody. It's an album written, recorded during lockdown, and it's really charming, but it's also emotional. It's moving, it's haunting, and it's wonderful because the music and the vocals just, they can't be beat. Now, finally, latest CD. Now, you can only get this through CY CURNIN, and I'll put the address in the information card here on YouTube. Is it an album called Superseded? And, of course, you get an autograph there. Problem is, it's only 4 songs. Okay, it's just an EP. But it's amazing. It's just CY at the piano. Now, there's no other instrumentation except just pure 100% CY CURNIN, and it's beautiful. It's haunting. It's charming. It's amazing. And that is CY CURNIN. Now, I wish, of course, it had been a full-length album, or I wish that Lockdown was on CD. But you know what? I'm happy with what I have because I have it. And that's all I can say. But yeah, this is the most recent release. Now, this is cool. You know, like I said, it may be a little pricey for 4 songs. I hate to say that. But when I got it, it came wrapped in like this brown tissue paper and this golden brown ribbon tied around it. So he puts a lot of love into it, into the music and into the packaging. And there you go, CY CURNIN. Anyway, that is it. I really appreciate you sitting around allowing me to talk about CY CURNIN and a little bit about the Fixx. And remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and to ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.